Yo, 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 what it do? What it do?
Uh-uh.
I already see five people here off the bat. We're gonna start off like we always do. You already
It's
know
all
it's your boy Six Deuce, one of the co-hosts here at Super Righteous Broadcast. I'm gonna keep this intro very short today. Shout out to all the partners and shout out to all the co-hosts. Y'all know who they are. Don't even really need to say it by now. But I do want to go ahead and say shout out Chuco Z, shout out Flaco PTR, shout out to
yeah.
all the Ponte Trucha records. I want to go ahead tell the people who you are, my boy, where you come from, your record label, everybody you like, my boy. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I go by the stage name Chuco Z. It's a little name that I got growing up. I own Ponte Trucha Records, and I've been doing it ever since. You know what I'm talking about? I come out from Hollister, California, but I rep that Sacktown, that 916, and I just want to say thank you for having me on here. For real, for real. It's a blessing. Serio.
Nah, and I ain't no real talk though, bro. Thank you for coming on here. And I want to say so far we got a solid 9 people already tapping in. Shout out to King Usid. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Shout out to Victoria tapping in. Shout out to Fabian tapping in. But now that we said that, people know where you coming from. I'm kind of curious now. So how did you get that name growing up, Chukozi? So like how did that come about and like how did Ponte Trucha Records start? That's kind of like my question because I talked to Shell Flaco PTR, by the way, he's part of your label. But I never asked him that question. And so then I wanted to ask you, so how did you get that name and how did it come about with the record label?
So the name, it came from my elementary. I was just obsessed with like the zoot suit, all that stuff, and I used to study it all the time. And me being young, I swore up and down I was dressing down like them.
Yeah.
And then I came one day to my class, or matter of fact, it was I was graduating, well, not
Okay.
graduating, but I was promoting. It was my sixth grade year, and I remember some teacher had called me. Oh, you look like a pachuco. I was in my damn Converse with some
Yeah.
Ben Davis creased down. I had the white button up shirt with
Okay.
the fedora on. I was looking real fresh that day, and yeah, I got that name, and then it kind of just stuck to me. And then my one of my homeboys, shout out Corky Garcia, that fool started calling me, oh man, you a Pachuco or something. So it kind of just started sticking to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that name. And then the Z is from my last name, Zapata.
Okay. So that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm not gonna lie though, so okay, like that's actually pretty interesting, bro, because see, like me personally, like I kind of already assumed because that's kind of what I'm ask next. Other than before we get to asking about the record label, is
Huh?
that like so? Where did your I'm not a I wouldn't say infatuation. Where did your fascination with the retro style? Because you're still you gotta understand like a lot of fools I see the like I dress old school, but nah fool, I really give it to you like all the way down from you dressing vintage, having the vintage stuff, like
Yep,
having
yep.
the knowledge behind it. Like you don't just wear the clothes, my boy. Like you have the knowledge. I've noticed that with your work, how you talk, what you talk about. Like you could tell
Uh-huh.
you really study it. So like, where did that fascination come from? Like other than you being into the pachucos, etc. So how did that come about?
So when I was growing up, my grandpa, he had a bunch of like just old stuff. And then when I'd get out the house, it wouldn't be anything like that I see at home. So my obsession came from my grandparents having all the old stuff at home that they've kept throughout the years because it holds sentimental value.
Yeah.
And then growing up, for I don't know why, but I used to just like to rock my grandpa's clothes because he had a bunch of clothes from like the 90s and the
Right
80s.
shit.
And
Yeah.
I'm like realizing like it's kind of big, but I mean, whatever. I'm aware. I've always wore like baggy clothes, and my mom's
Yeah.
always dressed me down like that in the lugs or like the
Yeah.
pleated pants and shit like that, or the jean shorts and all that. That's just always been my bringing up and stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, I've always had this obsession with old stuff. I like the way it looks. I like the way it works, and I study it too. and then it goes from the technology to the clothes and all that. And the clothes is really what fascinates me. And then my style too, I just happened to like older music. That's what my mom was bumping.
Yeah.
And she would always tell me the story too. Like you would not, when you were a baby, you could not go to sleep if I wasn't bumping nothing
Yeah.
loud and stuff. So that's kind of like I mean, it made sense too.
He's
She bumped a lot of
I was
Tupac too.
destined. Yeah.
She bumped a lot of Tupac too, and that could have been what got me into like the old school style. I mean, I'm growing up, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm accustomed to.
No, and I think that's hard. I think that's tough too. Like because you straight up reminded me of the fact that like, bro, literally. So like my daughter and my son. Well, I have two sons, but one of them specifically, same way. My boy like had to be bumping 24/7 and like mainly oldie stuff like that. So the trip, like my daughter, who kid you not, like they used to trip out like so. Lil Durk, my lady would be like, "Man, stop bumping it," because I'm like, "Nah, like I'm gonna bump Lil Durk near your stomach, like
Yeah, yeah,
joking."
yeah.
But for not playing, bro, I promise you not. The only thing that could calm her down is Lil Durk or Miss Rachel now. Promise you, I'm not playing. I'll bump some Lil Durk randomly. Quiet, calms down. She'll
Yeah,
look around. She's
yeah.
at peace. So I feel you. Just in your concept, it was the old school vibe. Your people had that
Come
aura
on.
around you, so it stuck to you.
Hell yeah.
Now, so like you grew up in Sacramento. How was it for you growing up in Sacramento? Did you grow up there your whole life? Did you bounce around the
I bounced back and forth. Well, not anymore as much, like since my teen years and up. But when I was younger, my grandpa and my grandparents used to go out to Hollister a lot. That's where I was raised. Not raised, but I was born over there. It says it on my birth certificate and stuff. And yeah, when I was younger, I used to just bounce back. Like I was there like almost every other week, and know my way there, whatever. But then I actually had moved here, family stuff and shit.
yeah.
We had moved to the north, and it was a little place called the Paso Heights. And we dipped out, and then we moved to South Sacramento, and we've just been there ever since. And I've lived there my entire life. Like I barely just actually moved out from there, and yeah, I've been in the same house since I was like 4 years old and
Okay.
stuff. So yeah, I just I've been there, went to the school in that neighborhood, that block right there on Mac, and I've never changed. I've never switched. What to me, that's my home right there. I'm a rep it. I'm a represent it. I don't do the gang banging,
And
but
I yeah.
that's just how I was raised my whole entire life. That's all I knew.
No, and one thing I want to say too, and I want to put this out there for everybody, and that's another big reason why actually I got a lot of respect, excuse me, for Chuco Z, is that other than the fact is, if y'all don't know, y'all need to go right now, follow, like, comment, subscribe, all platforms, YouTube, check out his music. I was just speaking about it off camera before we came on here, is that like not only does he have the knowledge behind the stilo that he carries, it's like it's very rare that you see an individual be able to pull off the different type of styles that I've seen you pull off. You know what I mean? The genres that you've been able to pull off and make it sound good. You know what I'm saying? Because like I heard fools do it, but it don't sound good. And I'm not hating. Like I'm a super musician, Eminem status all the time, but
Yeah,
it's like it's a very rare skill to be able to do that. And
it's
like
like if you're gonna do it right. You know what I'm talking about?
exactly, that's kind of like how I'm feeling. Like at least if you're gonna dabble in a genre, make it sound good, make it sound dope. You know what I mean? And that's also kind of like what I'm saying is that like I like specifically, I'm gonna point out, like I like when you were doing the chop and screw style, like
Oh yeah,
the stuff you were talking about, like it was the stilo, like okay, I felt like it was some DJ Screw dope type of
yeah, yeah,
vibe. But at the same time, if you listening, it's that Northern California stilo. Like you
yeah.
can hear it. You know what I'm saying? You can hear that. And I also want to make it clear to people, also give respect, because a lot of people coming up rely too much on the gang banging or
They
get too
feel the
caught
need
up.
to represent. You feel me? They feel the need to represent be something bigger, and they can really just be big on their own. They got it themselves, you know what I'm talking about? And yeah, I peeped that a lot. Like me, I've been, like I said, like I always say this, I've been in this rap shit for 10 years, about to be 11 years, and I've always peeped that growing up. Like everybody got to be from some certain area or
Mhm.
be from this side, and it don't even got to be like that, man. Just be yourself, and just keep it pushing. You know what I'm talking about? And if people gonna fuck with you because they fuck with you, not because
Exactly.
you're in a gang, or they got to fuck with you because you're in the gang and shit. Like, which I don't, I don't disrespect. I'm talking about, because there's a lot of gang members that have showed me and showed respect, and have showed me love, and it's genuine. You can
Yeah.
tell when it's genuine, and but shout out to everybody, both sides. They've always showed me love. I've never got no hate growing up, ever. you know
No, it's because the way you carry yourself, and that's exactly what I want to compliment you next on. Is that it's like that's another thing, bro. Meeting you is that there's few fools that are like you to where they're themselves, my boy, and that's why you get that respect because
yeah.
you're not trying to be something you're not. You're not even trying to lie or nothing. Like, bro, the reason why people get so bad in situations and in wrecks because they steady put on this persona or have to feel like they gotta impress another man or like, oh, I'm tough or whatever. When it's
Yeah.
like, okay, there's more to music than just the what fools think is gangster rap because
Yeah.
rap isn't just gangster rap. So that's like my whole thing. Like if that's fool's whole forte, that's cool. But that's
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying. You're able to do that without that. You bring that presence, that respect, that impact without having to feel like you're affiliated. And that's dope, my boy, because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I see too many fools being affiliated only due to that reason because they feel like it's gonna give them some type of status or oh, it's gonna make me look cooler or get me more respect.
Yeah.
But it's
I've
not.
seen that a lot too. I've seen that a lot. When it's good people, it be good people. It be people that never have been brought up around that. Like me, I'm not one to be, oh yeah, super duper gangster or anything, but I mean, like, I was raised into it. I grew up around it, both sides, and thankfully, I've had family that just tell me, hey man, stay out of it. You're bigger than that. We know what it is. We've already been there, done that, and you don't even got to be a part of that to try to be someone. You be yourself, and that's where I do all this. I do my music and shit. I just stay up out the way and stuff. I mean, I be out, and I got my boys or whatever, and they do the same as well. I encourage them, like, hey man, like, we don't got to be out there doing no bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? We got to be we got to stay true to this, because we ain't new to this. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly. Yes, sir. Telling us, hey, like, we wasn't born yesterday, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I was born a couple hours ago. You know what I'm talking about? So I know what it is,
Exactly.
and I'm just glad, and I on this cross that I got on my chest. I'm thankful, and I'm glad that everybody fucks with me and stuff, and they appreciate the music that I do, and I try to be as real as I can. I don't gotta pump fake for nobody, and I don't gotta fake it to make it. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of people do that nowadays, and people, what they lack is authenticity. And I don't like to lack that. I'm a humble person. I'm a respectful person, and I don't care where anybody's from, as long as you guys showing me love and
Exactly.
showing me respect. I appreciate that, and I always be grateful for that.
No, yeah, and that's what makes individuals like you and I solid, dog. Because outside of all that, I even said it on here, bro. I don't want to make it about politics. Who's think on my end, I'm talking like that. But let's just say this, bro. Uh, color doesn't really matter in my eyes. I'm gonna say this. Why? There's plenty of individuals that pop up in here and shout Cali Hood Media same way that are from up north, and so I'm talking about, you know, allegedly members from out there,
Huh?
showing love, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about all that, When
Yeah.
you're a grown man, when you want some grown man shit, when you want some real shit, you can come at other real ass grown ass men like that, and they're gonna understand. It's only the little boys and lost boys out here that are tripping on the BS or cracking
Uh,
off or crashing out because. Truth be told, that's what I'm saying. When you're authentic, there's no need to be these fools to feel like you have to do the extras because that's the thing. With food, most fools don't understand, and I don't want to get too make about that subject because people won't think we just targeting the trying to attack the streets, but really, dog, it's nothing to glorify anyway. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it right now. It's really nothing to glorify anyway. You know, and let's not even lie to people, but respect. You know, I get people have their upbringings. I respect the people that done what they've done. But if you can be more without all that, homie, so be it, dog.
So
Because
be it.
I tell
Exactly.
all my younger brothers, homie, that shit ain't cool. I wouldn't want you to follow or be because
Yeah.
that's something I thought. I'm not blaming my older brother, but it was around me. But I'll admit, and I would be lying to say like it wasn't a bit of me, a part of me looking up to my older brother and be like, hey, this and that. But he never promoted it because I didn't want to make my brother sound bad. He didn't. He never was really the type. Like if anything, when it all happened, he was in prison and he was just like, bro, whatever. But point is, that was kind of the talk. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what, bro? It is what it is. But just move right, dog. Like this ain't what you think you need to be. You can be greater. You can still be real and not have to feel like you gotta do the extras and be in the streets or for example, people feel like you gotta have all these flashy things or do the most impressed people, doing all these whatever.
Yeah.
Because half your favorite rappers ain't even doing what they're saying they're doing, not because they're lying. Some of them fools got the money, probably all that, telling you, "Hey, fool, go boop de boop boop boop," and then because entertainment's entertainment, so we're
Yeah.
not taking it too serious.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is a lot of people trying to live up to an image of these rappers that
Yeah.
it's just entertainment, dog. Like you're
And
trying to.
and then that last album that I had dropped a couple days ago, I speak about that real heavy. Like, there's a line that I say, don't believe us rappers. Like, we're not in motion. All of us are not in motion. You know what I'm talking about? We're all trying to figure out like what we still want to do. That's why I named it Nostalgic Thoughts. Like, people have this. I mean, at least as artists, we have this kind of certain nostalgia where we wish we can go back to when we didn't have to worry about shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And just roaming and stuff. But I mean, it's people like us, that we go through shit. You know what I'm talking about? And we just feel the need to be able to grasp on something. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And it's fucked up, but it's a lot of people that grasp on the wrong thing, and their
Mhm.
life goes downhill. You know what I'm talking about? And
Like,
and it happens with a lot of us artists. Like I'd be lying if I said that I never like thought a way where I felt like the need to be somebody that I wasn't. You know what I'm talking
mhm.
about? But a lot, and it's sad. It's a sad thing to see. Us people younger than you and me. They go downhill, throwing their life away for something that they were never to begin with. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
And
yeah,
it
and
sucks, man.
that's dope. No, I continue.
And it sucks that it's us Raza that's doing it. You know. And I be telling everybody like the red and blue ain't nothing if brown makes the world go round. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
And that I'm gonna just stand on that, and I'm gonna end it with that. And the brown gonna forever make the world go round, but we gotta stop the bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? We really gotta stop the bullshit because there's a lot of shit going on, and we just need to be able to open our eyes and see the bigger picture and stuff like that.
No, yeah, most definitely, my boy. I agree with you fully on that standpoint of view. Because I'm gonna say like that real quick. We got Flacco PTR, one of the co-hosts on part of Ponte Trucha
Hell
Records. You
yeah,
know what I'm
hell
saying?
yeah.
Tapping in real quick. But I want to go and say real
What's
quick.
up, fool? My fault. I'm driving home.
Oh,
No, you
shout
good, brother. You
What's
good.
up, Chuco? What's up, Shaggy Douche?
Che, shmama. Who's cracking, dog?
Man, just got off of work.
Hell yeah! I'm glad we have
My
you in
fault.
here.
So I would have been on sooner if I could.
Now
It's
you
all
good.
good.
I know you got to make that money and do your thing, but
Uh-huh.
I want to go ahead and say real quick for Chuco Z. So like that's another big thing because it's like, all right, what you said right there is powerful and it is hard. Let's be real, dog. It is very hard. There's a lot of individuals. They'll be like, hey, not saying you, but just other food. I've seen it, and it's like the moment it's time to really show the integrity. All it takes is one little insult, and then boom, it's a full blown like what it's
Yup.
not about is what I'm saying. Because like I get it. This
Uh-huh.
is my standpoint on where like being from California specifically. This is one big thing I can say at least for Rasa in California, in my opinion, my perspective. Just it's like I've seen it to where fools claim that all right, we need unity, but the moment you need to be unified, it's nah, I can't because that
Because
man
they're
was
from
this
that
color.
side and all
Nah, I
that.
can't
Yeah.
because wooty woo. But
Yeah.
I understand. That's why I say my standpoint is I get it. The fools that live with it up there, every closing have a reason. Maybe I feel it. But even then, there's really no reason because again, we're always claiming, oh, it be the fools like, oh, let's be racist to black people and white
Yeah.
people, this people. But you're racist to your own kind, the
Your
worst,
own kind,
right? Like your own kind,
man.
the worst, homie.
I've
Yeah,
made that
so
point so
bad,
many
bro.
times, man. And it's like, you can even ask Flacco. Me, and when every time Flacco comes over here, like I tell him, like, hey, bro, like it's crazy. Like, people are just always talking shit, about other people, not knowing that we doing it to ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? And
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for
and like I
sure.
said, it's a if I could make a change, that'd be a change that I'd like to make, for all of us to, you know, clear up off the bullshit, have a clean slate. I know it's gonna take a long, long, long time, but we are in these years and these days where we're man, a couple years ago we
We're on
were
the come
not
up,
up where
fool.
we were at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
for
Mm-hmm.
about?
sure.
And I, like I said, I tell Flacco and I tell Lopes, shout out Lopes, the one of the second owner of Ponte Trucha. I tell him like, man, we like a couple years ago we were not popping. None of us were popping. Now that we got this
Yep.
platform and now that we got people with bigger voices that are Latino, Mexican to be exact, Chicanos, not bashing on the other Latinos. I love all my Latinos, but it's like now we have a voice. And if I can be able to be the voice for us, man, I would love to do that. But it's a lot of people that have that animosity, not towards me, but have that animosity to people like me. You know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about? Because all we're trying to see is change, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I sometimes I be tired of just fucking walking down and people, oh, like where you from, this and that. Like it don't
Yeah.
gotta result to that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Just
that's for sure.
be a homie, be respectful, be like, what's up, bro? Like, how you doing this shit? I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
wish people were like that, but I grew up humble. I grew up with respect. Respect has always been a big thing in my household. If we were disrespectful, we'd get our asses whooped.
Yeah.
That's how I
Facts.
grew up. You know
A
what I'm
lot of
talking
fools
Yeah,
don't
about?
get that these days. They lacking that. They
That's what I'm
lacking
saying. They
that.
lack on a lot of fucking cans of whoop ass. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
They
hell
lack
yeah,
on
and
a
the
Exactly.
little
lot of that shit.
stingers.
So
Hell
I
yeah.
it, and then it is what it is. To each their own. But it mean like if I could change that, man, I would. And because there's a lot of kids, man, that are seeing that shit, and they fail to realize that. Me being the oldest in my generation, I have my little brothers, I have my twin brothers, my sister, and then my cousins. I'm the oldest in my generation, and my mom just had my little brother. Shout out Mateo, man, it's a blessing, and yeah,
Yeah,
like I want
congratulations.
to. Yeah, like they see. Yeah, thank you. And they see that, my little. I don't want my little brothers to be like me. I don't want my primos to be like me, or I don't want them to be what they see out there. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I'm trying to be the bigger example. I let them know, like, like, yeah, like we got this in our family. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, why am I gonna lie? I'm not gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat shit for you neither.
Mm-hmm.
But peep the real, like, you don't want to be like that. You know what I'm talking about? And me, like I said, I grew up trying to be something that I wasn't, and I'm glad that I was able to look past that shit, and be able to bring myself up to a higher power, man, because I'm done with all that shit. You know what I'm talking about? And it sucks, man. Like I said, it sucks. And I just wish that we were all different. I wish we were all different. And hopefully, you know, soon that we can be able to see that. You know.
No, and I salute you on that because real quick, because I for sure want to, if I continue my next two questions, I for sure want to get Flacco PTR to be able to say some stuff for show and ask you too. But before I do all that and ask, I want to just go down the line. We got a solid 13 people in here right now. Shout out Fabian, Angel, Zuniga, shout out Terp, shout out Anakin Valerio. And he asked what this is about. This live stream is about this young talent individual, Chuco Z, out of Sacramento, California, music artist, also co-founder of Ponte Trucha Records. Tap in. Show some love. You already know what it is. And I want to say shout out Fina Aguilera. Shout out MC Young Ice tapping in.
Shout out
He,
MC
MC
Young
Young
Guys, my little homie
Eyes.
right there. That's my little
Oh,
homie right there, man.
that's right.
sir. And he
Hey,
said,
MC Young Eyes. What's
now go
up,
ahead.
little homie? Nah, MC Young Eyes. What's up, fool?
And shout out Seven Devin. I believe it's him tapping in. But yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. Unless it word exactly that, bro. Like, I have a little cousin that you remind me of, and I respect him for it. And I'm kind of glad. So, like at the time, uh, his best friend that he used to be friends with, was dating my little prima, right? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I am the type. I'm not saying that's cool, whatever, because it's ironic, but I'm just trying to pretty much relate is that I can see this little vato going down the wrong path, right? Not my little
Simone.
cousin, but the fool, you know. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
you do something, you might as well do it over here, right? But
Uh-huh.
it wasn't my intention. If anything, I got a lot of heat, and I kind of regret it now because he didn't make the cut and just made me look bad and whatever. But
Simone.
point is, I try to do a lot. Like I used to get heat because they're like, fool, how do you this and that? But you're having them because, hey, dog, I don't want fools to be crashed out if you're around me. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care what we're doing. I don't care if we're on a job site in the middle of Alaska. I mean, I don't care if we're gangbanging in Japan. I don't care what, right? I
Simone.
feel that it doesn't make it right or good of me to call myself a friend or family to automatically, all right, now let's go crash out. All right, now let's go do something stupid that's gonna harm you
Yeah.
for whatever. So I used to keep him away from all that. And again, sadly to make the cut, but respect, because at the time that's the only reason why, because he was already venturing off, not my primo, but the person who was dating my young prima at the time. I was like, fool, you know what? You're gonna end up doing it somewhere else, so you know I might as well guide you over here. And then my primo was hanging out with him, and that's why I respect you for making that choice, my boy. And I respect him for where my little primo's at now. He made that choice. We're in the car. I was like, I didn't really want him to. I was like, hey, don't feel pressure, dog. Like, don't kick it around me. If you're kicking it just because you think it's cool or whatever,
Yeah.
fine. But then my primo, and that really shit, I respect putting balls on that young man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, in front of all the homies, he's like, I don't want to gang bang. Like, I don't want to be from a gang. Like, sorry, like if that means I can't hang out with you guys no more, then cool. And then
So be it. Yep.
yeah, exactly. But I respected him because you know me, I ain't no offense, I ain't no yes man and always puppet, but the real homies respected it. And then I got at whoever was right there and trying to sound tough. I was like, look, you heard him, he ain't with that shit. Then I don't want to hear you ask my little primo again, ever again. You know, that's it. He made his choice. He don't want to do that shit. I respect you more for saying no and having the balls to be like, Charlie, I don't want to do that shit. That isn't that's not something I want for myself. And now I respect him because homeboy's what 19, got his own wig, works 2 jobs. Homeboy does all the stuff that for at my age, homie, I wasn't doing, you know. So like he handles business. So our upbringing, that's kind of what I mean, is that he made being himself cool, and I kind of respected what you did. I mean, you can do that without the gang life, the bad things, the throwing your life away. So it's like my question I want to ask, other than me just saluting y'all for that. So how exactly did like Ponte Trucha Records start? Like how did it exactly start? How did the idea come about? And I want Flaco PTR to speak on this a little bit after, and how did it come about with you meeting Flaco? So go ahead.
Okay. So all right, so the whole thing with Ponte Trucha, I was already in the label before and shit. And it was with I was signed to En El Mapa with this female named Eva Nashes and Esta Saints, and I don't know if they're still a label or I don't know what it is, but they basically I had, you know, I was putting my homeboy on and shit. Shout out Kiko. And fucking the it was just like little high school shit, man. They wanted to get with him and he didn't want to be with him. He didn't want to be with them, so they got all mad and they basically made me churn on him. And yeah, it's my fault. Like I admit it, you know, because I fucking believed him and I knew he wasn't like that, you know.
Yeah.
Pero por mis huevos, like nah,
Yeah.
like fuck that fool, you know what I'm talking about? We laugh, me and him, we laugh about it. We talk about it all the time, but we laugh about it now. But like we were in some fucking serious battle, man. Like we would fucking be fading every like we would fade all the time. Every time we see each other, and
Yeah.
Flacco seen one time. We were we were
Yeah, if
filming
I
for
remember
Strictly
that.
Bay. Yeah, we were filming for Strictly Bay, and dude, we fucking got down full in front of his grandparents. I putazos, bro. We started
Yeah.
going at this shit, and that shit, like ever since when that happened, we kind of just let off the bullshit. In the middle of us filming, he fucking pulled up with his primos and shit. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
damn.
fool, that was crazy.
But his primos were cool, like we're good. And he was like, man, this fool's just tripping and shit.
Yeah.
Like the beef wasn't super serious today because we knew we were gonna be good again.
Yeah.
But well, when that happened though, with those females doing that shit to us, we fucking were like, whatever, and I still stayed in the label. And fuck, man, these motherfuckers. Like a month later, they're like, yeah, we feel like we don't need to have you in our label anymore, this and that. So I was like, man, fuck you, motherfuckers, this and that. I
And
started,
then we
I
dissed them,
fucked
fool.
them.
We dissed them in Mackin,
And then
homie.
and then after that, yeah, I'm gonna get to that, brother. After that, right? After that, I was like, fuck them, bro. Like, I'm gonna drop something because I was the only one putting in work, man. So yeah, I felt some way because I'm like, damn. So you guys are gonna fucking do that to me, and I'm the one putting in work for you guys. Like, man, I fuck with your whole label. Like, how y'all gonna do that to me? Bounced out. We're like, fuck it. It is what it is, bro. And in that same week that I dipped out, me and my boy Chris were like, man, we gotta fucking. I'm gonna start my own label. And he was like, what? I was like, fool, why don't you and me start a whole label?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know. He was kind of hesitant at first, and I was like, man, stop being like that. Like, we're gonna start a fucking label, fool.
Label, homie. Yeah.
And
Like,
started the label. We started the label, and we were like,
Here we are now.
and yeah. And then I was like, man, we were like, what the fuck should we name it? And I was sending him fucking names, and at first it was supposed to be Brown Entertainment.
Okay.
And then from Brown Entertainment, we knew Bella's Black and Brown Entertainment, and we are like, nah, we want it to sound like that. So I started saying other shit, and then Ponte Trucha was ironically that's the first EP I ever dropped. Yeah. It was called Ponte Trucha. And I was like, fool, why don't we just name it PTR, Ponte Trucha Records? And that fool Chris was like, man, that shit hard as fuck. And then right away I ran to Flacco. I'm all like, fool, Ponte Trucha Records. And he was like, ooh, that shit sound hard as fuck. And I was like, that's gonna be your label? I was like, yeah. I was like, well, it's gonna be our label. And
yeah, fool. This fool signed me with. He signed me. He signed me, fool. I had no rap experience.
Yeah, he had no experience. He did not rap. He did not do nothing. I just added him. I was like, you my homie, fool. You believe in me, bro, through it all. So fuck it, we're gonna do it. Yeah. Fucking signed him, and then Chris, I signed his brother, and his brother is fucking a dope ass fucking rapper. Fool, his name is Dismiss. Shout out Dismiss. They come out from San Fernando Valley. Those are my camaradas right there.
And, shout out that Valley. You know what I
mean? Simon, and after that, I had signed my boy Baby Joker. He's out of Sacramento over here with me. None of them rapped. I'm telling you, man, none of them rapped. I fucking was be in the studio hours with them on some Easy-E shit, recording part by part by part by part. I'm like,
hey, not me though, fool. I can get it down first try, homie. Straight.
Yeah, and Flacco surprised me because Flacco would fucking go in the booth, fucking shoot it through, recording like a couple takes, and it was done. I'm all like, I didn't even know you fucking rap like that. Like, yeah, you know how we do. Oh, all right,
it's one take.
And yeah, I experienced it firsthand when we recorded a song called Mackin. It was on Freaky Frisco. And man, it was fucking like one of the dopest fucking, I like that tape, but I feel like it doesn't get a lot of love.
Hey, memories with that one, fool. Memories with the recording and everything.
I had already dropped my first release, which was Strictly Bay. Okay. And Strictly Bay is the album that fucking like shot me up. Yeah, that kind of blew up because I had Freestyle, I had Can't Stop, Won't Stop on it. Strictly Bay was me fucking dissing those two females and shit. Yeah. And fucking I had, bro, the whole fucking catalog was fire. I had You Want a Boogie, I Want a Boogie on it. I had a bunch of different songs on it. It was just 6 songs, but it fucking shot me up there. And
bangers though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then after we stopped, after I let it cool down, I was like, fuck it, man, let me just work on some other shit. And at that time, I was going to Frisco a lot. And then I like Bay Area music. A lot of the Bay Area music I listen to comes out of Frisco. That includes like RBL Posse, Cold World Hustlers, and also Mac Dre's from Frisco. But I was just listening to Bay Area music all at one, and I was listening to Mac Dre, Totally Insane out of East Palo Alto. A lot of jazz from what you call it. His name is Jazz. Yeah, he's from San Jose. I was listening to Darkroom Familia. I was listening to hella shit at that time. and we went to Frisco. Me and Flacco ended up going to Frisco and shit. Got the idea. I'm all like, man, I'm gonna take some pictures right here. I took some pictures and I think it was you, huh? I think it was you that
fool. You took pictures at the Giants Stadium.
Yeah, and it was fucking fat, bro. The pictures came out so sick. And the next couple days when he stayed, we were at my headphones and shit. We were like, he had this fucking idea, like, bro, let's go to LA. I was like, what? I was like, should I go? I was debating this shit.
Fool. You was like 16 at the time, fool.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, we're gonna go to LA. I told my headphone, I'm gonna pack some bags. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be out for like a week, right? And at first she was iffy. She was like, I don't know, Mijo, like, well, if you go, I'm gonna call your tios because I got a couple of tios.
Family out there, yeah.
Yeah, right there in Ontario, the IE. I got hella tios everywhere.
Shout out the Inland Empire too,
Simone, shout out the IE. The IE are the people that blew me up, man. The IE is the motherfuckers that blew me up. I'm telling you. They was fucking with me. They did not care if I was from Northern Cali. I was bringing the shit that they liked, Exactly. Shout out to the IE. And what's it called? Yeah, bro, we went to LA. We went to this fucking place in Hollywood, man. And
the hostel
that
food
shit was so ghetto, man. I was like, what the
hella ghetto food.
Talk about the Airbnb, man. It's just a house with a bunch of different people in it, man. I was like,
what they're straight tweakers, homie.
Yeah, like serio. And I was like, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I grew up.
We're here already.
Yeah, we're here already. You already paid the money. Fuck it. We're here. Couldn't even go to sleep, man, honestly. And I was the top bunk. This fool was on the bottom and shit, man.
Hey, the door barely locked too.
The door did not want to lock at first.
What had a fork, homie?
Yeah, serio. And man, when we were there all night, this fool was just fucking knocked out. It's just like, fuck, let me just fuck with this.
Hey, this fool was praying, homie.
The praying.
This fool had tears out his eyes praying, dog.
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you, fool.
I'm praying like solid.
I was like, God, I hope this door does not open. All right.
For real though. Hey, I don't care what nobody says, homie. A hostel in Hollywood. Yeah, my boy, you had a reason to be concerned. No?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, man, I ain't never been in Hollywood, but I know what goes down in Hollywood. That's how you know it's a little bit bad over there. I'm like, fuck, bro. They show all these fucking famous people that live there. They ain't showing the behind
parts,
scenes, man. No. They ain't showing the back parts. But yeah, I was fucking with that Freaky Frisco page, man. That page, the album cover. And it was like, it started to look nice. I was like, fuck it, man. Like, I'm gonna do my thing on this shit. And fucking started putting it out. And I had posted it. And when I posted it, I was like, fuck it, 1,000 likes and I'm a drop. Bro, it wasn't even like a full 2 days, bro. I fucking woke up and it was already at 1,000 likes. I was like, oh shit. Like, people fucking with me. Fucking dropped it. But in that time, I had already had a song worked out with a homie named Felon. I think he's from Oxnard or something like that. Or from the 805. Let's just say the 805. And we did a song called Gangstified, and people were fucking going crazy over that song because they never heard that song. And I was like, it's like, fuck it, like I'm gonna produce a Sacramento beat from the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. And I fucking threw it on there, and fucking the song, luego, when the song starts, we're just rapping. Mm-hmm. We're going back and forth, and people were fucking going crazy over it. I'll never forget it. And that's what got me all them likes on the Freaky Frisco. Dropped it. and the rest is history, man. And that album, actually, I'm dissing my homie Kiko. And
Oh my God! He said he's like,
yeah, and I was like, bro, I'm telling you, man, like back then I did not give a fuck. I was just name calling out everybody, fucking
yeah.
calling them bitches and shit. And it was just hella funny, man. And me and him, we laugh about it. We laugh
Now,
about
yeah,
it all the time
years
and shit.
later.
But back then it was some serious shit. Like we were really like beefing with each other and shit. And ever since that's been history. I've been doing this shit all fucking my whole entire career ever since.
Now, but you know what they say though, homie? That some of your best friends you fight right before.
Yeah,
And
and it's true.
says,
It's
homie.
true. It's true,
Yo,
man. I've been witness to it a lot, man. A lot.
straight up.
No.
So my whole thing is like, you know, we talk a little bit how you met Flacco. We talk a little bit about y'all record label and how y'all came about. But we were speaking about the projects you were doing, but could you name like your top 3 favorite projects from you that you're like your most proudest of, that you feel like are a staple of Chuco Z? Like, what would you say your top 3 projects of yourself?
My first gotta be Nostalgic Thoughts. My first one. I like that shit broke me, made me, re-broke me, remade me. Like I was on for like almost 6 years, working on that fucking project. I started working on that project before I even made Ponte Trucha. And I wanted to, you know, my mom was always, and it was because my mom was like, man, you got to start speaking about real shit, you know? And she was like, not everybody's going to like all that gangster talk, that pimp shit that you be talking about. Not everybody's going to like that. It's like, you're right. You know, I was being stubborn at first. I'm like, nah, but people like to party. Yeah. People like to do this and that. All this fool left. But
he'll come right back.
Yeah, he'll come right back. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. I have so many fucking songs scrapped off that fucking. I mean, it's 5 years. Yeah. Like I have like almost 30 songs scrapped off that album, man. Yeah. And I only chose 15 to drop. But yeah, I got to be my first one.
Okay.
I poured my fucking soul into that one, man. And then the second one, damn, man. I don't know. That's pretty hard, man. My second one gotta be Strictly Bay. Strictly Bay is what shot me up there even more, you know, and Strictly Bay got my what you call it, my most favorite songs. Or you know what? Nah, second is City of Trees. My second is City of Trees, because City of Trees is the album that got me to 100,000 views, 500,000 views, and now thank God we're at 1 million views. Appreciate everybody that's been fucking with me and supporting me. You know, so City of Trees is my, you know what, we're going to make that my first album. We're going to make that my first album, because that album is what made me, I'm telling you. And then obviously my second one, Nostalgic Thoughts. My third one got to be Strictly Bay. All those 3 albums, those 3 EPs and album. Yeah.
So I want to say more specifically now on those 3. If you want to go down the line, what was the inspiration behind all 3 of those projects specifically?
So the Nostalgic Thoughts one, I'm gonna start with Nostalgic Thoughts first. That one, I was going through a tough ass time, and you know, like I said, my mom was telling me like, "Hey, you got to start writing about real shit," you know. And that one, fucking like, ironically, I was just going through the hardest time of my life, man. Like, I had so many people around me, and I still felt lonely. I fucking, I've never cried that year. I never cried so much ever. I'm not one to cry. Like, I'm not one to show my emotions to nobody. It's not because I'm tough shit.
No, we're human, my boy. You feel me? Fact.
Yeah, it's not because I'm tough shit. I'm gonna admit it to you. Like, yeah, man, I cry too, you know, but not all the time. But it's like, that shit broke me, man. That, like, when I was working on those out, and you know, keep in mind, like, that's 5 years, man, you know, and in those 5 years, I'm dropping other shit, you know. So behind all the shit that I dropped when I dropped Strictly Bay to even Ponte Trucha, my first ever tape, that shit, fucking, like, I was just, for that was like on a depressed ass run, man. And I had dropped out of school. COVID hit, man. We were all in fucking indoors and shit, man. Yeah. But in that, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have found myself, you know, because I found myself in COVID. But like I said, I was just fucking hurt, man, because my homies too, which I don't really hold no grudge with anybody or anybody. I'm a forgiving ass person. That's the shit that I hate about myself, man. That I forgive everybody, and even though they do me wrong, I
it's a
still
blessing
find
and a curse, homie. I'm gonna tell you
more.
that.
I
Having a
still
good
find a
heart.
way to be like, all right, man, like you did your shit, like that's fucked up, but hey, you know what? May God be with you in your journey. You know what I'm talking about? I forgive you, man. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna hold no grudge, no nothing, But those years, man, I'm telling you, when I was fucking depressed, I was so depressed, man, when I had dropped out that I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna go back to school. I went back to school, fucking feeling like shit, man. I was just I wasn't on my tens, man. I fucking was depressed, bro. I was depressed, and when I would feel like that, I'd call my mom up, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Like sometimes I cry to my mom. Wasn't living with my mom at the time.
Yeah.
And she says like, well, if you don't got nowhere to go, you can stay with us, but she got a small apartment, and my little brothers were there, and my sister, and her fiance was there, and I'm not gonna sit here and do that to them, man, because there's like one extra person they got to worry about. Like I'm gonna worry about myself before,
Put it on somebody else.
But my mom still worries about me. She got my back all the time, so I don't really care what it is. I know my mom loves me, and I love my mom, and shout out to her. She's on the live right now. She's not meme or whatever she got going on, But
yeah, shout out to mom. Shout out to mom.
I love my mom. I love my mom, man. But she was with me through it all, man. She seen me fucking break. She seen me remake myself. She seen me remold myself, man. So yeah, that album, I honestly feel like that album is that's what got me inspired to do that album, man, through my fucking sadness. And that shit is real. Sounds depressing, but
nah, it's real, dog.
no, but it's real though, man. Cause that album is the most realest shit. I don't know if you've listened to it, but the album is the most realest shit I've ever spoke on. I speak about my entire life story, how I feel. I mean, still at the moment, like I know shit ain't right, shit ain't good right now, but you know what? We're gonna make it work because I know I've got out of it. And if I get myself back in, I'm gonna dig myself back out, as a man. I'm talking about? That's what it is, with the help of my mom. My mom always has showed me and taught me. I didn't have my dad growing up, but my mom was my dad as well. And she taught me what it is. Like, hey, motherfucker, like, ponte las pilas, because in this life, ain't nobody gonna have your back. She be telling me too. You got lucky because I'm your mom. I'm like, shit, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
Like you're lucky. You got me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what? But I can't complain because she's always had my back, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, Shout out my tia Vicky, Victoria Guevara. She's on here and shit.
Shout out to your tia.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm real grateful, man. Real grateful. I'm real like. I love this. I love this for myself, and you know what? Sometimes I need to get depressed to find that inspiration. Talk about, but it comes with being an artist, man. That's your artistry goes based on your feelings, and a lot of people seem to fucking they fail to realize that, but it's the truth. It's the truth,
No, but it's needed for growth. It's needed for growth, and I say that because that's what they say. I know we laugh about it and like we joke, because it's our way of coping when we're like, it builds character, right? When you're going through a hard time, that jab, people like to throw like, bro, it builds character. You'll be all right.
Yeah,
but it really does, and that's kind of what people mean in that is because sometimes we do got to go through that to find ourselves, and that's what they mean by that saying of, and I finally understand these past couple years of my life about blessing in disguise because that's what they mean. You might be feeling attacked. You might be feeling like a time in your life is not where you need to be, or you're just feeling like that's that word disassociation. Where you feel like things ain't real. Like I'm not here. Like damn, bro, like, I'm not mentally present, but I'm here. So I feel like we all at some point go through that. And it's just some of us are lucky enough to find ourselves without having to go down a dark path. Some of us tread down and get to come back. Some people heal, some people get better. Sadly, some people never come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people never get to make that or take that message. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. And like, I'm glad that you're able to help spread that, my boy. Because also I seen not just music that's on nostalgic thoughts. It's the fact that even I know you had a post that you did. If you want to talk about that, I seen you did suicide awareness. You know,
suicide prevention
yeah,
awareness commercial.
prevention. Yeah, suicide prevention awareness. Let's talk a little bit about that, bro. And like, what was that something that came to you because you felt inspired to do it, or like,
So
what was that about?
how that came when I had dropped out, I had I had the idea like I'm gonna go back to school, and going into school, fucking my teacher, he was a videographer, and he would give us these, he would assign us these projects like, hey man, like I'm gonna need you to do this, I'm gonna need you to do that, whoopty whoop. Shout out to him. Mr. Archie, man, he fucking got me out. Like he gave me so much game, man. Like I can't even explain how much game he gave me, you know, but at that time when I was going to his class all the time, I would be there hella early in the morning. When my mom used to work out of school, so she used to have to drop me off hella early. I'd be there like an hour early, but I'd sit in his class, we'll chop it up, and he was like, he would tell me about all the shit that he went through. And he's an OG, man. Like you look at him, you could tell right off the bat, like, oh yeah, he's an OG, and he actually grew up around my block back in those times, so he gave me a lot of game on what it was, you know, and when he was telling me like, man, I'm gonna need you to do a commercial. I was like, what you mean? He was like, yeah, man, I feel like you can come up with a dope ass commercial, this and that. But it was a project for everybody and shit, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at first I wanted to do a fucking a malt liquor commercial. Man, who the fuck? A malt liquor commercial for school, you know? But
yeah,
like nah, you can't do that. What the fuck? He was like, you can't do that, dude. Like, nah, you tripping. You gotta be school appropriate.
You're a fool. He's like malt liquor is school appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, I was like, and because I was looking at it, I don't know if you know the St. Ives commercials from the '90s. I was just seeing a lot of that shit going on, like coincidentally, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do something like this. But I was like, nah, you know what, man? Let me sit back and do something. And in those times, like I said, I was fucking super depressed and shit. But I was like, but I don't want to take my life, man. Like it ain't worth for me to take my life. I know I'm gonna get out of it. You know, I'm talking about sometimes I feel like I don't want to be here, but I'm not gonna sit here and do that. You know, I got shit to look for, and I still got this journey that God put me on, man, and this path that I'm still walking, man. If I didn't want to be here, and if God didn't need me here, He would have been do something about it. You know what I'm talking about? But because of His grace, I'm still here. He sees something in me. I'm still in this path, man, and I'm still walking. You know what I'm talking about? And I give all of my thanks to my Lord, man. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that commercial. I'm gonna do a suicide prevention commercial. And people, when I first said that, people were like, man, because they looked at me as just a rapper. They're like, man, what the fuck? You're a rapper talking about suicide, this and that. I'm like, okay, but like I could relate to it because I went through it. I tried to kill myself in front of my mom. Yeah. And fucking like, yeah, so yeah, it holds sentimental value to me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it and I'm gonna do it right. You know, I'm gonna do it cool. And it took me like I actually had got excused that whole day to be and still in school, but filming in my school, you know, and I was filming it with with the homie, and it was I think it was his homie. It was this female. I think she was like a dyke or something, but she was cool though. She was hella cool. We were all chopping up. We were all in the same class, and I was like, I'm gonna need y'all for my video. He was like, it's good. So they fucking came outside with me. And for that period, we were just filming, taking little shots and shit of like, you know, little sceneries and shit. And then I remember that same day I went home and got it done in like 30 minutes. I started editing it 30 minutes in. I'm on like, hold up, this commercial looks dope. And it had to be like a minute long. It couldn't be over a minute. Okay. And when I did that, my fucking mic was broken. So I had to record the audio of me talking into my phone. Okay. And if you listen to it closely, you can hear the damn alarm beep in the background. Man, I was so bad. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, damn, like that shit ruined it. But I was like, nah, it's a dope ass commercial. But
Yeah.
pretty soon I'm gonna redo the audio on it. But yeah, that's when I did it. And the next day, I took it to my teacher. I took it to him. I'm all like, hey, like let me know what you think about this. And he put it in. I had to load it up on an SD card because on cameras you can't
Yeah.
USB or on a memory on it. It doesn't have a memory unless it has an SD. So he took it out from the camera. He put it in his computer and he's seen it, and he was just kind of like shocked. Like he didn't
Yeah, he
expect
was
that.
shocked. He didn't expect.
Yeah,
He expects that from you, and the subject is powerful, bro. Because like how you said, uh, it's good you did that, bro. And before you continue, because it's like exactly that. Don't second guess. Like just because I'm an artist, I don't go through just like you. You know what I mean? Where I'm not human.
nah,
Just
but
like
he
you
was the one
outside.
that had that. He was the one that had that. Like he expected it from me because he knows that I can do better, you
Yeah.
know. But no, when nobody was believing in me, he was believing in me. But then when he played it for like the class, they were all in shock, like, "What the fuck? Like this looks like an actual commercial that you
Yeah,
can
that's what
play
I'm
on the
trying to say.
TV."
Like the how serious you took it. He was just surprised, like, oh damn, like
Like,
the
yeah,
potential I seen in him is there. It's
yeah.
there.
And he was when he seen it, he was telling me like, "Man, it's just kind of deep." And I was like, "Well, I mean, if I'm gonna do something, like I said, my favorite line, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. I'm not gonna sit here and try to half-ass and half-step shit. You know what I'm talking about? Because I need to get the job done. Nah, like I'm gonna do it right because it's in my nature to do shit right. You know, I don't like to half-ass shit. But he was like, I like this. Like this might be the best video I've had in the 15 years that I've been teaching here and this and that.
Mm.
And he tried to submit it to a broadcasting not commercial, a broadcasting channel,
Mm.
and it was like a CBS channel,
Mm.
and I think they played it once on TV. I think they
That's
played it once
dope.
on TV. Yeah, and that shit meant so much to me. I didn't get to see it, but he told me because he worked for like CBS and shit like that too as well. That's his second job. Right after he
Yeah.
would get off of teaching, he would go to that job and shit. And he told me like, yeah, I think they aired it. I don't know if they did, but I'm pretty sure that they did. And usually you can they do competitions for the shit like that. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think mine's won, but I don't know if that story's completely true. I don't know, but I mean, if they aired it before though, that shit
Hey,
is
shout out. Let them know. Shout out if they
yeah,
did.
that Mr. Archie. He's the only one that believed in me, and fuck, man, like that, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, man, for real.
No, yeah, and I'm so glad you're able to talk about that, bro, because again, it's not a subject that's brought up a lot because it's frowned upon. I'm gonna say why, because us, I say specifically more as men, right? It's like, you know, I'm thinking about a guy or girl thing, you know, because we're more in different times now to where quality and things are more equal. But
Yeah,
on the end of access, I feel like it's not really more now so, but it's not taking it seriously mental health alone, let
yeah,
alone
and it's
men's
not.
mental health. You know
Yeah,
what I
and we're in
mean?
these times of social media, man, where everybody's trying to be something that they're not. And I honestly and genuinely feel the reason people are like that is because they're going through shit. You know, they don't want to be, Kiko, I'm not selling you my 14s, all right? And,
He said, yeah,
yeah,
bro.
you know, hey, I have them on. I have them on too. I have them on. I know what pair you talk about, boy. You tripping, cuz.
He said you tripping.
That's that fool Kiko I was telling you about. That
Yeah,
motherfucker right there, man. But yeah, you know, a lot of people, like I said though, people be on social media and trying to be something in what they see, you know what I'm talking about? And it's because they be trying to erase their image. And I feel like they be trying to erase their image on how they feel about themselves. So they look at that and try to be that so that they can feel better about themselves. But yeah, like you said, mental health ain't no joke. I feel like everybody should have a grasp on that, and everybody should have what you call it, have that in their conscience, like, hey, not everybody's okay. And it be the least people you expect. It could be your cousin, it could be your brother, it could be your mom, for all I know. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you don't know what everybody's going through. You know what I'm talking about? Much love,
nobody
Gustavo.
shows
Much
it.
love. Yeah, but you don't know what everybody's going through, man. And that's the shit that, like, with this album, like, I explained that, like, peep in, give your love, advise somebody, because there's motherfuckers out here, you know, catching bodies. You know, I said that in the line, and it's true. You know, it's true. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's right now. I'll pull up in my post. This fool. Nah, hell no,
In
you
the
tripping, bro.
Nissan,
I ain't
my
stealing these
boy. In
motherfuckers.
the Nissan, my boy. Hey, bow tires.
That fool. Oh, shout out D Boy. D Boy is also in my label, man. D Boy's in my label. He was on the Macked Out Click. Me and Flacco
Yeah.
did this. Oh, you were there when I recorded the.
Yeah, we were there. We
You were
were
there.
recording
You was
on a cardboard box in one of my empty rooms. That's
Hey,
right.
we had to do what we had to do, man.
Dude,
We had to
homie,
do
you
it.
feel me? Because I didn't have
Hell
no
yeah.
furniture, bro. So I was like, hey, I got a
I
box,
know.
bro.
I think you were barely moving in.
Yeah, I just moved in, and hey, we've all came far from then. And I don't mean to get off subject or nothing, but I kind of passed this question. I thought it was a great one, and I didn't mean to pass over it, but it was right here. It said, MC Young, I said, hey, Chuco, what's your favorite track off the Showstopper tape?
It's called What's Your Fantasy, man. What's Your Fantasy gotta be my most favorite song on there. Because What's Your Fantasy, my favorite artist is featured in there. The original dude on the song What's Your Fantasy is featured on that track. And that's one of my favorite artists right there. Damn, how the fuck? Hold up. Damn, bro, what the fuck? He's one of my favorite artists, and I forgot his fucking name. Shit. Mass Dog. Shout out Mass Dog. I think he comes
Don't
from
worry, we have a lot of
LA.
minds on me. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I started tripping. I'm like, man, am I getting dementia? What the fuck? You know? But yeah, his name is Mass Dog, man. Shout out Mass Dog. He actually gave me the up and the thumbs up. Like, yeah, go ahead, use it and shit. So when I do the music video, I want him to be in the music video singing that. You know, but for that music video, which I had already told Flacco to let you know, so you can, you know, pull up. We're supposed to be in the club and shit, and we're supposed to be suited. We're supposed to be suited in the suits and shit.
I'll buy a suit for that day, man. I'll make sure I don't own a suit, but that day I will, homie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't own a suit neither, but we're gonna look fresh like a motherfucker that day.
That
you know?
day, homie, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Yeah, man, that's my favorite song right there. I was working on that song for like 3 days. I wanted that shit to sound perfect, and I did not want to do no cuts on the, like, you know how sometimes you fuck up and you do that little part and then re-record it again. Nah, I wanted to do that shit in one take because I wanted to sound raw. I wanted to sound
real. Like authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I wanted the listener to listen to every like gasp and every like you know what I'm talking about.
Like everything, like you don't mind if it comes out a little raw, because that's the kind of effect you're looking for. And I think a lot of fools polish
it too much.
Yeah, too much, dog. Like it's okay.
And I like that shit raw. You know, I like that shit raw, and I think that's why my sound sounds real different from other people, because my sound is fucking like, I'm telling you, I record on cassette tapes, man. Nobody records on cassette tapes. Nobody runs their music on cassette tapes. Like people that swear up and down, like, yeah, man, I do this old school music shit. Nah, man, I do this old school music shit.
Yeah, he said,
like
nah, I do, homie. Yeah.
I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And yeah, man, but I like that shit to sound raw. But I was like, I do not want no cuts. I do not want no cuts in this fucking song, bro. So I fucking recorded, and I still have the file too. You can see that there's no cut in it. Like I didn't re-record a line. I didn't re-record like certain lines and shit. Like, nah, that shit needs to be you know, fucking not polished. I need that shit to be raw and stuff.
Now, yeah, I want to say, okay, so we talked about some of your favorite artists, but who's your top 5? Like, let's say if like they inspired you to, or like your favorite, your top 5 is the all time. It could be underground. It could be.
Oh man, I hate when I get. I gonna lie, I hate this question because I have like 100 top 5s. You know what I'm talking about?
Let me guess real quick. My bad. Chuco Z.
That's one top 5. That's one top 5.
Yeah.
You feel me? But nah. Right now, not right now. I'm not gonna say right now, but my fucking favorite. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna give a top 5. My top first one right now is BG. BG's this Sacramento artist out of the 90s and shit. He's this dude right here, this poster right here. Favorite album from him. That's who I've always listened to since I was young. And if you listen to his music, my inspiration, you can hear me on his kind of flow a little bit. But yeah,
Okay.
BG's my top one. He's on the tape with Young Joker. Young Joker is also another artist out of Sacramento from the 90s. I fuck with Young Joker. Young Joker is probably my on my third. My second one is Young Dre D. This poster right here, that's Young Dre D. Comes out of Del Paso Heights.
Okay.
He's also from Sacramento. A 90s rapper. He's in my top three. His fucking flow is crazy. I'm not my not top three. He's my second. My third one, Young Joker. My fourth one. Fuck, that's kind of hard, man. My fourth one. Man, I don't know, man.
I'm not trying to offend nobody. No, I'm like,
nah, not even.
I just
because
joke,
my top five changes a lot, man. I'm not even gonna lie. My top, it's like what I'm listening to right now. Like it's a lot of that. That's what I'm listening. But I've always listened to that.
Yeah.
So my top four gotta be probably shit. I don't even know, man. My top four probably gotta be Tupac or some, because I fucking love Tupac. And then my fifth is gonna be Eminem. I love Eminem, man. Eminem is my shit. I know his songs from front to back. All his old shit though. Not
yeah,
really
like Slim Shady and all that, and D12.
But I like when he was like with the Slim Shady. I like his Infinite album, one of his first albums. That came out in 1996. His Slim Shady EP came out in 1997. And then he has a bunch of other like not albums, but I think a couple EPs before that in the late 80s, early 90s and shit. And he got some shit. That's all I'm gonna say. He got some shit. But yeah, that's my top five. I'm gonna say that's my top five. But it all depends on flow. You know what I'm talking about? The beat, you gotta have a dope ass beat, wooty woo. But if you're not speaking that shit on that beat, you ain't nothing. You know what I'm talking about?
Wasting that beat. And what EBK J-Bo said? He's like, turn this beat off. I ain't tripping on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. If you're not gonna trip on the beat, turn that shit off. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, if I ain't tripping on it, man, turn it off. But nah, yeah, exactly. Like that's actually I give you that. I'm not too familiar with up north area type of music, you know what I'm saying? Like even Southern Cali, there's a lot of people I'm still barely meeting. Cause mind you, I know a lot of fools that are underground as I go, people that I meet or I've heard, like I tell people I live under a rock sometimes. So if I didn't hear, it's not because they're not known, it's because I've yet to learn. You know what I'm saying? But
me too. I'm the same way. I live under a rock too, man. You might as well call me Patrick, because I fucking.
That's what I'm saying, because I don't know what's going on unless it's around me. I don't know.
Hell yeah, man. But I love a lot of Southern Cali artists too, man. Just like how I love a lot of Northern California artists too. Like if we talking about like gangster rap, like G rap, I'm talking about like on my top five. It's like Woody, Conejo, bro. I fucking love, bro. Conejo.
Conejo. I have a conversation with you after this, because I don't want to seem like I'm using people's credit cards. And I'll tell you after this.
It's good. Conejo, we actually have spoke before a couple years ago, but he fucking feed me ass dude. Conejo, fucking right now, like this Norteño rapper, Track Money P.
Okay.
And fucking what's his name, man? This Track Money P and some other dude. They're out of, I don't know if they're out of they're not from Cali though. They're not from Cali, but they're dope, man. They're new rappers though. They're new rappers, but they're like the only new rappers like I fuck with their music. And then I fuck with what's his name, man? There's this other rapper. He's from Santa Monica, but he's not a famous rapper, but he's like an underground rapper from now, but he does a lot of the old school shit too. He used to be a DJ back in the 90s, I think. And his name is Devil Los. He's out of Santa Monica, but fucking like those are my top five. Like gang member rappers, like real gang, like rappers, those are like my top five. And then PBC, they're Northern Cali rappers, you know, PBC and all of fucking Darkroom Familia.
Yeah.
Them, you know, there's a lot of like different artists in there. There's like, you know, there's a couple Cribs, a couple Bloods, there's a lot of Norteños in that album, and those in that collective, little rap collective and shit.
Mhm.
And yeah, bro, those are like my fucking top 5. I listen to everybody. I don't give a fuck where you from. I listen
Nah,
to
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I want to make it clear on here what I say. I even put it up. You know, fools get mad. They gonna follow me and get mad. But I even put this up. Like, I didn't pass by this. If you read that up there, hey, respect to you, my boy. All love, and that just goes to the example to show. Like I want to make it. I don't want shout out Farmero, Diablo. They be tapping in, bro. You know that they're homies from that side. You know, and we don't politic on here. You know what I'm saying at all. Like this is a place you come here, bro. As long as they ain't a negative or glorified light, like trying to get fools in trouble or something, I don't really, you know, care or try to push it because I've had it plenty of times, homie, to where I'm not too fond of people that I directly in my area, not even about north, south, north. I'm talking about just even local, right? I've had some people that I've had to see in the comments, and I could have been immature, but bro, here's the thing: you either is a grown man, a businessman, and they always say you get up in 3 yards. Your front yard, the graveyard, or prison yard, homie. You feel me?
That's
So
right.
it's dog, and you gotta be better. And what I'm trying to get at is that, like, bro, I don't care. Like, I even told you when I met you, homie, when I was like, bro, I don't care even if you brought a fool from your record label and that fool was right. I told you straight up, I'm not on that. Like I'm not no drop out, no peseta. I'm not lame, but I'm not on the tip, homie, to I come as music. Like when I met you, I wasn't like, hey, Chuco, they call me butter. Like now, I was like, hey,
nah, but you know what it is? We keep it cordial. We keep it cordial. A real G gonna move aside. A real G gonna move like lasagna. You know what I'm talking about? They keep that G silent. You know what I'm talking about? And like I said, it is what it is. You know, I don't really care that much for the gang banging, man. As long as I'm and the money, the green is gonna make the entire shit go around, man. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care where anybody's from. If you bringing me that money and you bring me that cash, we talking. I don't care. I don't care where you from, man. I be telling everybody that. You know what I'm talking about? And the respect goes a long way, man. Being humble, being respectful. When I first met you, I let you know what it was. You know, hey, man, I'm coming out of Northern Cali. You know what I'm talking about?
But it's all love.
I fuck with everybody. You know, it's all love. I mean, like I said, like you said, you know. I ain't no lamb or nothing. I mean, I ain't no sucker, no nothing. Like people know what it is when it comes to me. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not gonna let myself, you know. But I what I'm gonna say is I show everybody love. The same exact respect that I want, I give it. You know what I'm talking about? In this life, you got to give to receive and get. You know what I'm talking about? And it's true. It's real. You know?
Nah, it is, bro. And that's exactly why off the bat meeting you, last respect. Cause all right, I'm one of the most simplest fools to meet because one, I'm like literally like anybody, like common sense. Don't poke the bear on me and he's chilling. Like I'm not a bad dude. I don't want to mess with nobody. I don't care because even like growing up, homie, like I was never that fool. Like I didn't go out of my way, bro. All my little scuffles and troubles and turmoils I got in was like on the off chance because like I was not like all super out there. But bro, like you know what I mean? Like you know it happened, but I wasn't that fool. Like let me just be because for it's easy. Like I said all the time, homie. Younger, older. It's easy to sit there and pull a trigger. It's easy to sit there and go mess up, homie. You know it's hard getting your money up. You know it's hard getting your life together. You know it's hard staying on track, staying on business, staying sober. It's easy to get high. It's easy to go get drunk and all that. But you know it's hard to stay away from that. Get healthy, go to the gym. Hey, I'm learning that. So it's discipline, respect, all that combined goes a long way because we need that combined. That's why I say that. Why me and the team started SR Broadcast. Why it stands for Super Righteous. And honor is still records, but for Super Righteous, that's the meaning that we came up with. I gotta lie, we're going through like, man, what could it stand for? Because it was just an honor spill records, but we didn't want it to. But my whole point is when I gave it that, it just fit. And I was like, you know what? Because that's the type of dude I ain't trying like, Mr. on a pedestal, put myself up there, be self-absorbed. But the truth is, homie, is that all I try to do is, like you said, show the same love and respect I would want back because I'm not out here to cause no harm or be whatever. Even if it was that type shit. That's why I always told myself growing up, even if it was that, I'm not out here to go all that. like a wise older homies that was in my ear. They were like, you don't need to look for something, homie. I promise you,
Yeah.
God, you don't need to look for nothing, bro, because it's gonna find you. You gonna look for it, it's gonna find you, my boy. So
Yeah.
just
Oh no, it will, and it
yeah.
will. It will
So
find you.
like humble. We gotta be humble because life will humble you. If you don't, you know
Come
what I'm
on.
saying? And that's why, like, I don't care. I'm just a grown man. I don't give a damn if it's black, red flag, blue flag. Bro, you come in on the chat, you showing love, I'm gonna show it right back, dog.
That's
And
right.
you
That's
used to
right.
get mad, you might get the fools that be like, whatever. Like I said it before, perfect example that we got some respectable gentlemen from the north that constantly show love, and we show it back.
Come on.
We don't like we even crack jokes like I'm gonna keep it palabra. We'll be like, oh, I wouldn't wear red. They're like, yeah, that blue, I wouldn't wear that though. But all love, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we joke. You see what I'm saying? Grown man shit, bro. Because that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We get past that imaginary barrier we lock ourselves in because it's like this. We claim to be locked up, right? But
Yeah.
we're locking ourselves up, homie, when we're sitting there
Exactly.
stuck and being like, nah, this and that.
And this is the most powerful thing, man, right
Well,
here. Everybody knows that. And people are just locking themselves in. You know how many smart ass people I've met, man, from both sides? You know what I'm talking about? You know how many smart ass people like I'm like, damn man, you could have became a scientist if you wanted to, man. You could have became a fucking mathematician if you wanted to, man. There's a lot of smart ass people out there, but they just choose to do something else, choose to be something that they're not because it's in their nature or oh well I was raised like that. Like, nah, yeah, you could have been raised like that. I was raised like that too, but I didn't turn out like that. I'm trying
yeah.
to be more smart about my actions. I got my little siblings and my cousins to look after and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, I'm the oldest. I think, what is it I think like out of 10, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest in my
You gotta set
generation.
that example pretty much,
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. So I gotta set the example, man. I don't care what it is, But my time is running out,
Now
man.
do your thing, my boy.
I appreciate you letting me be on here, man. We gotta link up soon again so we can
We
work
will.
on
I got you, bro. We will, because now I got more funds and ways to do it. During the time when you met me, bro, that was actually speaking. Thank God, guys are good. We're here now. We made it out. I was going through my trials and errors at that time, homie. That was during
hell
the
yeah.
time of me trying to do what God thankfully allowed me to do now is be stable just to be able to take care of my kids. That's it. So they could keep the streets, homie. All that tough shit, they could keep that jail so they could keep that 4 yard. And guess what, homie? I'll kick it in my front yard barbecuing. See
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Got
Respectfully, no
to.
respect.
Got
But
to.
I want to go ahead and say a big shout out to you, my boy. Big shout out to Chuco Z. All my people, go follow, like, comment, subscribe. All platforms on social media. Stream them on all music platforms.
Thank you.
Go search them up. Shout Ponte Trucha Record. Make sure y'all follow them on Instagram and YouTube. Tap in with them. You already know what it is. Shout out Flaco PTR, your whole team. He's also one of the co-hosts here, and it's an honor to be able to be partnered with all y'all. Show love. Y'all know what it is. If you got any last words, if you want to end it with a message for the people, something you just want to talk.
Yes. Let me. All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna stamp this on here. All I'm gonna say is, each one teach one. You know what I'm talking about? It takes one to just change the world. It takes one to spark the human eye. You know what I'm talking about? And I want to give a shout out to my mom. My mom was telling me like, "Hey man, you better get your shits together." You know what I'm talking about? Because you're gonna be big. And I shout out my mom. She's been through it all with me. I want to give a fucking big ass fucking shout out to her. And I want to also give a shout out to all the Ponte Trucha records. That's been the ones that stayed down with me. There's a lot of motherfuckers that we lost, but hey, so be it. Is what it is. To each their own. I don't hold no resentment. I don't hold no grudge. No, I don't have no hate. It's not in my blood. Like I said, it is what it is. And may God be with you in your path. I want to give a shout out to fucking Esther Lopes. I've been trying to fucking get a hold of you. I know you're gonna see this, but he's been busy. I know he's been busy, but hey, it is what it is. Shout out Dismiss, shout out Flacco, shout out D-Boy, shout out the homie fucking Kiko. He also goes by Flacco. It's hella funny and shit. And shout out my sister Flacca. She's in my label and shit. Shout out to everybody that's been fucking with me and that stayed down. And shout out my boy Pelon. I know he got his shit going on with him and he got some family shit going on. But I want to give a big ass shout out to Pelon and I send all my love to everybody that I shout out, and shout out everybody that I left out. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Thea, for being on my live and shit. On this live, I appreciate it. I know you be hating on me sometimes, but hey, we're gonna call it a year. You know what I'm talking
we'll call it a year, man.
Nah, but it's good, brother. But thank you for having me, and I appreciate you, man. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this, but
Bet. Yeah, we're
2
gonna get
hours.
it.
Hell yeah, it's good, brother.
Thank you. Hey, have a blessed night, my boy. Do your thing. You know, from me to you, you already know what it is. It's all love. It's all respect. Out to you, my boy. You already know.
It's good, brother. Thank you.
Bet.